People have ideas about sympathies, ideas about being kind to others and to be compassionate to others. But what is a human compassion? It doesn't do anything, it just talks. Why? The God's compassion works. It works. It works on people. It doesn't talk that, oh, I'm very compassionate, I'm full of compassion, nothing. It just works, it manifests itself. So one should understand, to be a complete egoless personality, one should try to obey the self within yourself. Now how do you obey yourself within yourself? It is through vibratory awareness. Try to obey through your vibratory awareness. Any question you want to ask, anything you want to do, you must obey it through your vibratory awareness. Now some people are not so sensitive. That's true. The reason why they are not sensitive is because they think about it. Now you think with your brain. Alright? If your brain can be enlightened, then you will think as the divine thinks and your sensitivity will improve. Because sensitivity comes from the central nervous system. Now in the central nervous system, if there is any blockage, it is actually in the brain. Because all the centers are represented in the brain. So the best thing is to say that, Mother, come in my brain. Please reside in my brain. Please make your room in this brain. You be the controller of this brain. Let this brain be guided by your divine wisdom. And you don't think for yourself. And this word I think should be dropped completely from surgery. I think means goes on, funny ways. It can be anything, Like once we went out and we had one of my very stupid relations staying with us, a girl. And as I was going out, we had no servers that day. So I was cooking, but that day when we were going out, so I told her, I'm going in the morning. Can you make a little bit of khichdi for us? When we come back, we'll have that. That's the only cooking she did in her lifetime, which she did not do also. So when we came back, she told me that she had not cooked. So I said, why? Why didn't you cook? Because we were supposed to take our food here. She said, I thought that maybe you may not come. Maybe you're not hungry. Maybe you may not like to eat. Maybe I may not do well. So all these four alternatives not to do the cooking. But I said, why didn't you think that we may be hungry, that we will eat? Why didn't you think this way? But I thought, this is an explanation for not having one in the brain, I should say, that there is no divine guidance in the brain. Then the guidance comes from your ego or from your superego, which says, I thought that this might happen. But why did you think like why not the other way around? Why did you think the other way around? But the problem is this brain of yours, when it comes in between, which is nothing compared to that big brain, Your brain is nothing but like a little mosquito, it comes up, it comes here and there, says, this. And then the problem starts. But if you really start using His power within you, God has made you as the best instrument that you could think of. And as you start using your instrument with that wisdom and surrender on humility, gradually it evolves more and more and more, and you start developing more sensitive sides, or we can say evolving a new method in this and getting a better and better understanding of the working of SahajaYoga. So it is important that first of all we must decide to stop the brain working too much and say that, Mother, you be in our brain. Thank God I am before you in first. It's not difficult. Just say that, Mother, you have to be in our brain. Now this brain is, as you know, is supported by the 5 elements. They all are in this brain. And if you can somehow or other bring me in that brain, somehow or other, by telling your brain now not to disturb you anymore, you'll be amazed that immediately the whole system will start working like a dynamo. it will be such a sensitive thing, you don't have to worry about anything, you don't have to think about it. You touch anything, it becomes gold sort of thing. You see, become Midas touch, it's become such a great thing. But that is to achieve is difficult for them. They find it difficult to achieve that kind of a perfection where you lose completely your ego and you become egoless. Like the fire, the Mother Earth, like all other elements. They have no ego. It's only human beings who have built the ego. And the ego is such a big myth. Of course, when you don't do anything, why should you think you are doing something? And why should you be responsible for doing anything? But the thing is, we think that no, it's not God. We have to do this thing. And I have to decide. You see, it's just we play tricks with ourselves. Morning till evening, spoiling our brain, absolutely becoming mad. Best thing is to surrender and see that things will come before you. You will be amazed. Oh, how it has happened. How it has worked out. The other day I told just Kerry, you better go and register yourself. She said, Mother, the university has closed down its dates. I can't get it. It's very difficult. I said, all right, I have said it to go. Then she telephoned, they said, no, it's impossible, you just can't do it, but if you want, you can come and see. And as she walked into the university, in the office, they said, all right, come along, you are registered. It is. So many times it will happen to you people. But it took about 10 minutes for me to convince her that you just try it. But I must say, still, she was not so adamant. She was thinking, if Mother is saying, I will get it. Mother is saying, it will work. But if you suppose it's all right, Mother, you are saying, I'm just going to register. Finish. Then what happens? Even if you do not get registered, doesn't matter. That's not important. Your brain improves. That's important. That your brain improves. It becomes more sensitive. It's not important that the work should be done. That's not important. What is important that in your brain you must get this idea that let me be enlightened. Alright?